Welcome back to Car Talk. Today we're chopping it up by talking about cars that should be brought back. Nice and crispy cars. If you have any that you felt like should have been mentioned, or there's some opinions you don't agree with here, leave it down in the comments below and we'll make sure we read it. My first car I have today is the Porsche Carrera GT. It's a naturally aspirated V10 producing around 700 horsepower. It's pretty much just you and car, and it's very dangerous. And that's what makes the car so much fun. I'm not saying they have to not have traction control, not have ABS, anti-locking brakes. That stuff's probably important nowadays, especially after 2013. If you know ball knowledge, if you know, you know. Who I think they could bring something close, get like a nice V10. Could even be front wheel, the front engine. I wouldn't complain. That would be a really nice, crispy car, though. Manual transmission in a Porsche. Oh, I'm thinking about it. It makes me excited.
All right. But my first car of my list, that cars I would want to see brought back, is the Alfa Romeo 155 Q4. Now, the reason I want to bring this back is because it is a V6 all-wheel drive sports sedan, specifically a 2.5 liter V6. It was also a race car as well, and I even think they should bring this back in somewhat of a trim level of the Giulia to a tribute to the 155 Q4, or even completely scrap the Giulia and bring back the 155 Q4, because I feel like the 155 Q4 aesthetically looks better than the Giulia does, which is that is a controversial statement. But I just feel like you have a V6 all-wheel drive sports sedan, 420 horsepower, I believe. I believe there are multiple trim levels. I don't remember all the trim levels available in the specs, but the specs I just listed are for the one that I really would want to see brought back. But like I said, this would look really cool as, let's say you go to buy a Alfa Romeo Giulia and you have the 155 spec, and it's a tribute to the 155 Q4. Or they could just completely scrap production of the Giulia and bring back a modernized with a modern look, obviously not like a new bland look, but a somewhat modernized version of the 155 Q4. And if they do this, I hope they don't actually follow the trend of how car design is going now. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you watch our previous video of Is Car Design Dead? And I really hope this car is brought back, but not in a sense of Jaguar making the Type 00 or Audi and the new Concept C, and they make it some bland, weird, unrecognizable new version of a once pretty popular car. Now, the 155 Q4 is pretty rare, even I believe when it was around, but that is my first car on my list of cars that I want to see brought back.
My next car is pretty iconic if you're a divorced dad in the 1970s with a pack of Marlboro Reds. It's also known for having a little fire chicken on the hood. I think we need to bring back a Pontiac, especially the Firebird. The Firebird is just iconic for American muscle, coming from the company that started the American muscle car craze. Little did you know, John DeLorean, shout out him. But when you think of a muscle car, you think of Smokey and the Bandit hit driving a Firebird. Those things are so nice. The original Pontiac engine sucks. I think they could just bring it back as a Camaro, kinda, if they want to keep the Camaro and not make it an EV. Do not make a Firebird EV, yeah, SUV. That would just be horrible. I say you can bring it back as like a trim option or a model if you want. You're like, oh, I need a sports car to compete with the actual good Mustang. If you saw the last video, you know what I'm talking about. Well, we're You can have it as a trim, kind of like how with the Alfa Romeo. I just think it's a nice car that doesn't deserve to be dead, especially after a company he went under for financial reasons. That Firebird is just iconic with the fire chicken. It has a massive 400 cubic inch V8 from the 1970s. On 70s tires, you're making 200 horsepower and you have a 400 cubic inch V8. That's just sick. Now they could make it like modern, but also have the old design of the 1977, maximum 1978. We do not need the 1979 ugly Pontiac Firebird. We do not need that. We need it to be nice and beautiful. And that's what the Firebird is, unless if it's a 1979.
Now, my second car on my list of cars I want to see brought back, hopefully in 2025 and 2026, is the Volkswagen Corrado VR6. And now, the reason I want this is because during its time, it was a 2.8 liter V6 engine coupe. Well, specifically a liftback coupe. Now, today, I feel that Volkswagen really is missing a coupe. They have hatchbacks, the Golf series, and the GTI, all that. They have the compact SUVs and the full-size SUVs like the Atlas. But I feel like they need a coupe in their lineup, and that is what they once had with the Corrado VR6. And that is what I really feel like they should bring back to fill a major hole in their lineup. Now, like I said with Alfa Romeo bringing back the 155 Q4, I think if they did this, they could either scrap one trim level of the Golf and replace it with a VR6 Corrado, or they could bring back a modernized version of the Corrado, or they could bring back a just 100% modern remake of the Corrado, or in that same way, they could make a whole brand new coupe. And like I said with the 155 Q4, they could include a spec, like a tribute spec. So whatever this new coupe is going to be, you could buy it in the Corrado spec or the VR6 spec, and it would be a tribute to the Corrado, and it would have all the same engine specs of the VW Corrado. But I feel like the reason this is my pick is because I feel like it fills a major hole in Volkswagen's lineup today. But those are all the cars on my list.
I thought of an honorable mention while my buddy was talking.
Is it the Mark II Giugiaro design Fiat Panda? Because it better be.
Shut up.
Okay.
I think
Disrespect to the Panda is crazy.
please leave my house. Thank you very much. Now that I'm by myself, I want to bring up the Dodge Viper. And now a lot of people are like, probably like, the Dodge Viper that ended in 2016. I don't care. Here, you have the muscle cars. You need to bring at least the ACR back for the Viper. You need something that can go around a track, not a straight line into a wall and a barrier into a crowder. Something that can be in takeovers pretty easily. And now you have this Dodge Viper with the naturally aspirated V10. You can't just let that good engine go waste. You can make another TRX trim with the Viper V10, and you can bring back the SRT name with it. You're killing two birds with one stone by bringing the Dodge Viper back. But that's my honorable mention for my list. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. It's very appreciated. We're not a big channel, as you can see. We're trying to get there. So any like,
In the coming future, we will be.
he came back, unfortunately.
Yes, I did. You can't get rid of me.
I wish I could.
Neither can you get rid of the Fiat Panda.
Then why is it being talked in a video about bringing back cars?
It still exists, but they need to bring back the Giugiaro design because the new one's horrific. The Giugiaro design was a
Your face is horrific.
mother.
Your dog.
Mom's great grandma's aunt's granddaughter was horrific.
hope he doesn't make any sense. But I hope you enjoy and this video and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Anything helps for a small channel. Cool. It goes a long way. And then you can claim to be one of the OGs and you wouldn't be making stuff up. You'd be telling the truth. On that note, have a good day.